Good afternoon, everyone. Our today's topic is the recent tariff war, which is imposed by Donald Trump on India. So, as we can see that nowadays, Donald Trump, President of United States of America, imposed 25% tariff on India's goods. So, I have a certain report on which about which we will today discuss unfiltered talk, and we will also discuss that how can India retaliate or resonates its own point, and also how can we tackle the dominance of USA in the tariff, or we can say trade. So now we can see that because of the zero credibility of Donald Trump, the main organization like WTO, uh, all including all International Monetary Fund, all organizations have a significance of like a zero, because their significance is not working. Now Donald Trump's policies are eradicating all significance, like WTO, IMF, Asian Development Bank, all are not able to respond against Donald Trump's policy. So why recently we got to know that in United States of America's President Donald Trump imposed 25% tariff on India. uh, so let us understand that why United States of America, or we can say Donald Trump, imposed tariff on India. So first problem is that why India is neutral in the context of Russia and Ukraine war. Although America or European countries wants from India side that India should be standing with them against Russia. Although India's interest is with Russia, because once tackling with any problem in Asia, or also increasing its trade, Russia is one of the best nation to counter from the other problems. So we cannot leave Russia, and which is a problem to USA and also European countries. And also America wants that India should stand against China, as they want to recruit India against China. Although there might be differences between India and China, there might be border disputes with China, but we cannot be recruited by someone against any country. Although we understand that China is our neighboring country, and there might be any differences between that country, but it does not mean that we will stand against our neighboring country. Although we are not failed state like Pakistan may stand with any of the countries, neighboring country or any other country, any power state, because their significance in the world is zero. They just stand with behalf of someone. Although the circumstances of India are not like that. India is an independent sovereign country, so it decides its own interests. So that's why India is not getting recruited by America against China. So this is one of the more problem. And also recently we could see that American general was honored by a highest honor in Pakistan honored American general highest honorary award, because nowadays America is seeing that India is a developing country, and India is fastest growing economy in the world. And then also Donald Trump tweeted, or we can say posted on a truth social media, that India is a dead economy. So I would like to tell the entire USA or European media that India is the fastest growing economy in the world. I don't think that what is the significance of the saying dead economy. This is a kind of frustration over India, that why India is not hearing the context of the America and America's regime. So, and it will never happen. Once they might be saying it dead economy, but there might be a differences between India and America, or India and China. But this can be solved by a dialogue and diplomacy. So India's concern is its four priorities, mainly three priorities. First one is the farmer, second one is the enterprises and entrepreneurship, and third one is the MSMEs. Although America wants to dump its products in the Indian sides, and once America's products will be dumped into India, then it will harm Indian farmers, and because of which Indian farmers will hurt more effectively, and because of which India is negotiating with America, but it cannot it cannot counter, or we can say it cannot be left to farmers and entrepreneurship and MSMEs, because these are the most important sectors for Indian economy. So we cannot suffer these three context. Now I would like to mention to America that where you will lacking, because nowadays India is the best exporter of jewelry, clothes, auto parts and medicine, from insulin to cancer or high blood pressure. So these all kind of medicines go from India with zero tariff. So then also now they will suffer drastic change, because once we import things via zero tariff and they are imposing 25% tariff, and because of which they will see a hype cost on a jewelry, clothes, auto parts and medicine also. Now we can see that in which context India may suffer, or in which context, in which sector India will be hit. So electronics, smartphones, automobile parts, gemstones. As we all are aware that smartphone like Apple or other smartphones are getting produced in India, and India is one of the best exporter of smartphones. And once America is the largest importer of India's smartphones. So it may be hit, although it will be hit by a huge setback from America side in the sector of smartphones. So these are certain extent in which India will also be hyped. Now, because of which there might be a kind of contraction in Indian GDP in approximate 0.2 to 0.5%. Now, I would like to tell you that how India can tackle these situations. Although these all parameters, these all points are valid, but India then also consider certain points that as Donald Trump hit 25%, or we can say imposed 25% tariff on India, immediately Russia's diplomat said that they want to make a trioca of Russia, China, and India. So India should keenly interested with it and should move toward that direction. But with it we cannot leave America, because there is a one of the side a kind of open sword, that is a border dispute with China. Once we will be engaged with China, then it may be harm to on the territorial basis in the border disputes, like in the rare earth metals which is not giving fertilizers which are not provided by China. So these are certain with China also. So we cannot just with engage with China directly, although there are certain extent of improving relations, but the relations are not completely well. So there are certain need to there is a need to rethink about the joining of the trioca of these three nations. But along with it, we just move toward that direction, because for countering China, America's dominance, it is mandatory to move that direction. And also we must have to engage with a trade trade settlement with America, because the solution of trade monopoly, which is doing by America, can be solved by the dialogue and diplomacy. So, although there is a huge setback from America side from the behalf of Donald Trump, but then also India should engage with a kind of diplomacy and dialogue, and and do the settlement on the business, or we can say trade deal. Because once trade deal will be done, then the historical relation which are built with America will might be able to saved, because the relation may make with a huge time, but it might be destroyed within a second. So there is a zero credibility of Donald Trump. So we cannot hit our relation because of the temporary president who is Donald Trump. So we just have to rethink about it, and we have to calmly proceed with it. And also we just have to get indulged in Tobacco also, but making a balance also. And as we can see that there is a BRICS which impose and because of which America may impose 10% tariff because of BRICS. So there will be approximate 100% tariff if we will include all tariffs, including penalty and 10% tariff of 25% trade tariff and 10% of BRICS tariff and much more, which might be imposed on India. So once we will calculate the entire tariff, then it will be approximate 10%. So we cannot just undermine these tariffs. So we must have to think about it, and then we have to retreat. I hope you got a kind of perspective in between India and America, and also indulgence of Pakistan, and the problem with China, and also how Russia is trying to make to build a trioca between Russia, China, and India, and how should India should balance the relation between both countries. Although both nations are kind of sword. So main sword for us is China, because China is our neighboring country, and we cannot deteriorate relation with China also. But as the America is a global power, so we just have to think about it. So as I am saying openly, without using any juggler words. So I hope you understand. If you understand my perspective on this topic, so please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel.